Hey everybody, Forensic Psych here. Just wanted to thank you for stopping by my channel and checking out this video. If you like what you see, be sure to click the like button at the end and subscribe if you want. I'm going to try and put out a whole series of these, probably several, maybe some multiplayer co-op, maybe even some multiplayer PvP. We'll see what happens. Real quick, I just wanted to explain the videos, what I'm going to do this first time. Probably the first and second video, I'm going to do a tutorial for 7 Days to Die. This is Alpha 14.6, and it's going to be how to survive your first day. And then I'll continue that series on with how to survive your first horde, how to survive your first week, that kind of thing. It's going to be survival single player, random gen, and the name of the seed is Avoti. You can see it there, A-V-O-T-I. I'm going to open these up so that you can see them. You can pause and scroll through them. Some of you are going to say, man, you're starting that out pretty low, but it's for beginners. You know, if you're an experienced player, you probably aren't watching this to pick up tips. You're probably watching it for entertainment value, and hopefully you'll get some of that. But if you're a new player, you know, I don't think it's a terrible thing to start out on easy settings just to get your feet wet, figure out how the game works. So, new to Alpha 14 were these quests that started popping up in the beginning. I think that the Fun Pimps did a great job with doing these. They were, I don't know, some of the guys that are playing out there are kind of, they're okay with it at first, and then they get a little annoyed with them because they pop up all the time. It probably would be nice if there was a way to just turn those off, but you know, it's worth a skill point, and it doesn't take that long, and it's all stuff you're going to do in the beginning anyway for the most part. So I figure, let's run with it. Why not, right? So you can see in this upper right hand corner here, as we click that and it starts this first quest in the quest chain. I'm going to leave this up for a couple of seconds so that you can read it. I'm not going to read it to you, but this is the way the game's going to start out, at least for the time being, pretty much all the time. Nice, kind of a nice starting area. So real quick, you can see you're supposed to gather plant fibers, gather wood, and some small stones to make an axe. I'm going to talk while I do that. I'm not going to go over what I'm doing necessarily. But I'm going to cover the reason why I'm making these videos. I think for the next one I'll probably turn the volume down a little bit. It seems kind of loud to me. You guys feel free to post some comments to let me know what you think, if it's too loud or not. Not a bear. Nice. Anyway, the reason I'm doing these videos is there's a few guys out there on YouTube that have a series of videos of their own. I really like them. For instance, Cage848, Game Edged, Games for Kicks, and lately I've been watching Joe the Pirate, and that guy's funny. For comedy relief, nobody beats Games for Kicks, I think. But as much as I enjoy those videos, I'm not knocking those guys, but there's a lot of swearing in them. And, you know, they're adults, they can swear. You're an adult, for the most part, probably, and if you want to listen to that language, that's fine, and I don't have a problem with it either. But there's a lot of kids out there, and I know that my kids wanted to watch some videos and see how to play, see what was going on, and that's great, because I love the game. It's a lot of fun, and the problem with them watching those videos is their mom, my wife, was getting really upset with the language, and so I decided to do a series of videos that are hopefully going to be PG, PG-13, family friendly, that kind of thing. So props to those guys. I really enjoy their videos, and I'm glad they're doing them because they're a lot of fun to watch. And really, they help me learn how to get up and get running in the game. So, again, props. Go out and check out their channels because they've got some really great stuff. That's all I can say about that. That's the reason why I'm doing these videos. So, I've created a bunch of plant fibers. You can see new with release 14, when you hit plant fibers, you'll see in the bottom right you get 2. That used to be 1. So it's kind of a bonus. I think I've got plenty to get me going here, at least for the moment. I should have enough. I can get my chrysanthemums. I can get my stone axe going, and that will get me past that first quest. You'll notice there's a couple of bird's nests there. I'm not going to get those yet, and I'm not sure, but it used to be, or at least it seemed like it, when they first came out with the quest, initially, if you got the feathers before you were ready, they didn't count. I'm not sure if that's the way it is now, but I'd rather just get them in order and get it over with that way, make sure that I get credit for them. If you know, go ahead and say something in the comments. That's great. That'll be helpful. Even if I figure it out by then, it's helpful to new players that are coming in. They can read those comments and learn a lot from you guys as well, because rest assured, I don't know everything. So, what have we covered? We covered why I'm doing the videos. We covered what I'm going to do with the videos. I think let's talk about the series itself. I'm going to try and record at least an hour at a time, and I'm going to try and do a couple of hours today and break those into half-hour segments or so. So this series will be, I don't know how many episodes. I want to get through at least the Day 7 Horde and show you guys the Day 5 Dog Horde and the Day 7 Horde. And then we'll see where it goes from there. If you guys are liking it, give me suggestions on what you want to see, and we'll try and do that. So what do we got? Plant fibers. Our next quest is to create these items here. I hit the tab key to bring me into that inventory, just in case you guys are new and don't know that. That's how you get in there. So that brings you into the inventory and the crafting section of it. It shows you your inventory. I think the inventory is actually B, but you can see your inventory when you go into the crafting menu. So let's get these made. I highlight the item. I select how many I want to make, whether it's 40, whatever. I'm going to say one of those. And each of these items, I needed everything but the hat. So we're going to go ahead and make those and get those up and running. I'm going to gather some coal because I know some of you guys are, especially if you're experienced players, you're going to be yelling at me about this, but I like to use coal in my fire, the forge and the fire. And I know you use it for making other stuff, torches, gunpowder, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I just feel like the coal, I think it burns longer. So another thing let's cover is inventory management. It's part of the game. You have limited inventory space, so you really have to police what's going in there. So I'm going to end up doing some inventory management on the screen. I'll try and keep it at a minimum and do stuff between episodes, you know, but you're going to see some of that, and it's good because you know, if you're watching my videos and you're watching other people's videos, you're going to be able to see how different people manage their inventory and you might see something that I do that you really like, and maybe you go out and check out Games for Kicks, and you see something that he does and you like that better, or it's something you can add to what you've picked up from me, and that's great. Learning from each other is the best way to get the game going, right? So in a second here, I'm going to go and I'll show you the shift click that automatically does stuff. Just get this last piece of coal here. Let's cover talking. Some of the guys that put out videos talk non-stop. Sometimes they're talking without saying anything, and it drives me insane. So, rest assured, I'm not going to talk just to hear myself talk, and if you don't like dead air, then this might not be the video series for you, but we'll see. It's not like I'm going to just spend a half an hour walking around and not talking, but there'll be times when I'm wandering around not talking, and hopefully you can get on board with that. So let's talk shift click. These gloves, the hood, so on, if there's something that you want to get down on your bar down here or to put on, you can hold your shift and click on it, and it puts those items in place just like that. We're learning. Let's make a club. We can do that. I need to find some rocks so I can get another axe going. This is not the most effective way to find a club, or find a rock, for sure. And there's better rocks. I haven't seen one yet. This area is a little bit bereft of rocks. So I don't know. We're going to have to look and see what there is. Come on, give me one more rock. Holy cow. Finally. Stone axe, craft. I'm going to put that club on my tool belt for the moment. It's just about useless at level 1, but it's better than nothing if you're out here and you get jumped on by something. Although, you know, when you're starting the game out like this, one of the things that's supposed to happen is you're supposed to show up in a somewhat protected area, an area that doesn't have any zombies in it at the beginning. They'll wander in, and if you wander out of that area, I don't know how big that area is. If you guys know, post it in the comments so that we can all learn from that. But if you wander outside of that general area, so from here to the road, for me, probably is as far as I can go before zombies will start spawning in. So if you stay for the first few hours of the game in that general area, you're going to be relatively safe for the most part. You know, stuff still happens, but at least you can get in there and start doing these beginning quests and get them out of the way. Get yourself set up so that you've got bare minimum of equipment to start out with. Come on. If a tree falls on you, it will kill you dead. So, if you're chopping down a tree, make sure that you are standing behind it. And when it falls, it doesn't hurt just to back away from it a little bit. One more. Come on. There we go. Now we've got enough stones to make a few axes. Let's see if we can find... Okay, there's one of those rocks. Do we see anybody around? Sometimes if you look around the base of these large rocks, you'll see birds' nests too. And these red flowers that I keep picking up, if you pick up those chrysanthemums, and let's see, those goldenrods right there, you see those? If you pick those up, you can boil water and turn those into tea. And water is good. You'll die of thirst if you don't have it. If you have water and you turn it into tea, you get better hydration from the tea than you do from just plain water. You'll notice I keep putting particular items right down here, and that's part of my inventory management system. I like to keep my wood, my stone, and my plant fibers, and then iron that I scrap right in this general area, because you use those in the beginning for making different stuff, whether it's an iron reinforced club or a barbed club or a spiked club. I just like to make sure that I've got those things and I can see them quickly as to whether I need to resupply them or not. Because if the last thing you want to do is if you're out there in the wilderness and you are, you know, you see some zombies coming, you think you're going to have to fight, the last thing you want to do is scramble around trying to find some wood so that you can build a club if yours is about to break. Now you'll see this rock just broke into several pieces there. They have several stages as they break down. A lot of things are like that in the game. A lot of blocks that buildings are made of and stuff. They'll break down in stages, like doors. If a door's reinforced, you'll have to hit it for 250 hit points, let's say, and then it'll break down to the next layer, and that's 250 hit points, and then another 250 hit points again before the door is actually gone, if the door has any kind of metal on it, for instance. So I'm going to take these rocks and get these chopped up, and we'll get that out of the way, and then we're going to go get those feathers from the bird's nest that we uncovered. You can see I've got a new quest in the upper right hand corner there to create a bow and arrows. It would be nice if the fun pimps fixed this, because you'll see you gather feathers, gather small stones, etc. And then it has you craft the bow, and that really should be the last step, because if you craft the bow, it's going to be level 1. Maybe level 2 because you made a club already. But if you craft, say, 100 arrows, and then craft the bow, it's going to be like a level 98 or level 100 bow, which it's not much, but when you're scrabbling to survive, you know, every little bit helps. So at least you know that, and you can make your arrows first. If the fun pimps go in and change that around, I think that would be great. I doubt that the fun pimps are going to be watching my video series, but stranger things have happened, right? You guys are. Don't forget to comment. Let me know if I'm missing stuff. I guess just check the release date. If it's more than a couple of days old from the release date, and you say, hey, you missed a bird's nest, chances are pretty likely that I am not going to go back for that bird's nest, right? But if you know, if you've got a helpful hint or something that you want to point out to me and everybody else, throw that in there and we'll take a look at it, you know? We'll get the last of this coal and then we'll... no, let's get the bird's nest. There's a tenant in 7 days to die. Words to live by, right? And that's ABC. Always be crafting. And you'll hear these guys talk about that. What they mean is, in order to raise the level of the items you're carrying, if you're making them yourself, you need to always be crafting to get those skills up. And so while I'm chopping up that coal, instead of just talking to you guys and then going and getting those feathers, I'm going to grab these small rocks. I'm going to run back up there and we'll get the coal, but we're going to be building arrows while we do that. So let's get that. 65. Not bad. I would like to have a couple of 100 arrows before nightfall on day 1. But I will take 65 at the very least. I'll take that just to get the bow level up. You guys will have to tell me how the sound quality is on my mic. It's a new mic. It's a Plantronics headset. And my test videos, I thought it sounded pretty good. But let me know what you think. Oh, man. Alright, so you notice I had all those arrows queued up there, and what I ended up doing was canceling them and restarting them so that I could get my axe done. In fact, craft another axe, get that queued up, because I will probably need it about the time that the arrows are done and this one is about ready to go. At low level, man, your equipment doesn't last long at all. And that's why this always be crafting thing comes into place. You really want to make sure that you're crafting and getting ready to put your next item in place, because they just don't last. Alright, let's take a look. What do we got? 545, 191. As far as inventory goes, when I reach the end of day 1, I either build what they refer to as a deer blind, or I have a small fort that I can build. I'm sure that other people have done something similar. This one I just happened to think of while I was out playing, and that's how I do it. But preferable is to find a house, because in a house you might find a cook pot, which is really good to have on your first night, especially if you picked up any water, or if you managed to kill a chicken or a rabbit or a deer. Anyway, like I was saying, I like to have in the 500s, like that deer over there. I like to have in the area of 500 of each: wood, small stones, and plant fibers, before I lock myself in for the night on Dite 1. And that's because I'm going to spam craft. And I'll show you that when the time comes. We're at 22 minutes now, so I don't think that we're going to complete the quest in this first video. We might not even get to some place to hole up for the night in the first video, but we'll see. We can run a little long too. I don't have to stop right at 30 minutes. I could stop at whatever is, you know, the best stopping point. And if we run to 35 minutes or something, okay, so be it. 4:11. Alright. Have we got our bow yet? Oh no, we didn't make the bow. I'm going to put this down here. Let's create that bow. Wooden bow. Another little tip here in just a second. There's our bow, and you can see it's at level 61 instead of level 1. And if we run down to that bow so it is highlighted, hold your R key for reload and select your arrows. This way your bow is loaded when you run across your first zombie. So here's something. We just hit that deer, right? Don't. It's just like real life in the real world. When you hit a deer, you don't just go chasing after it. Give it a minute. Let it bleed out. Just like that. Now, here's the thing. We're gonna go collect that meat, which means we're gonna have raw meat on us, and that meat has smell, and that attracts zombies. So, now we have to be extra vigilant because we may get smelt when they can't see us. We might get smelt when we're in an area that's, you know, far enough that they can't sense us. So we're going to have to keep our eyes open and be extra cautious now, because you can see in that bottom left-hand corner, it's saying, there's a nose there, and that's saying you stink. You're carrying something that smells. So we'll be extra cautious. We didn't get a bone. That sucks. Alright, so the bones in the game, if you get a bone, you can, oh, I might have to take that out. Somebody that I play with just came online. So anyway, in the game, if you get a bone, you can turn that into a bone shiv. If you don't have a knife, then a bone shiv will allow you to skin an animal. And in order to make a forge, so that is that a pig or a bear? Must be a pig. I haven't heard the bear grunting. Yeah, pig. Okay, a little inventory management. These, not going to use them. In a single player game, you don't have to worry about running across those items. There's going to be plenty of them, so don't worry about it. The bone shiv, if you manage to pick up a bone shiv, you see I just clicked on this can. I'm going to click scrap. A lot of guys are going to yell at me. A lot of players are going to yell at me because you get more out of your forge by putting whole items in than you do by scrapping them yourself first. So for me, it comes down to inventory management and keeping track of what you've got in your inventory, keeping that space down. I'd like to find some more birds in this. Oh, look at there, water. Great. And desert biome. I tell you what, a lot of people are not happy to be in desert biome when they start out, but not only do I not mind it, I kind of like it. If you're in desert biome, you can see a long ways, and there's readily available food. The problem I have with the desert biome is there's no trees, so you have to work harder for wood. But, you know, that's not terrible. And there's a lot of, I don't know what you'd call them. They're like driftwood. What was that? A lot of driftwood laying around in the desert biome. So, easy to find those just laying around and chop those up. And there's a bunch of little dead, these bushes, the azalea bushes, there's a lot of those out there that are dead that you can just smack and pick those up. And the problem is it's one or two at a time for those, so you're not getting a lot of return. But at the same time, you know, having the ability to see, especially crawlers, because you can't see crawlers in this tall grass. Being able to see those coming from a distance, I think, is invaluable. And a road. Boy, I tell you, that's looking like the way to go. If you can, oh, look at there. dirt track. If you can get an area where two desirable biomes, geographical areas, they call them biomes, if you can find an area where two of them come together like this, man, I think you've got it set in the beginning of the game. So long as you can find some place or build a strong enough base to start out with, I think you could do far worse. Alright, so we're at 30 minutes right there, and alright, this quest, I think I'm going to end this episode here because this quest we have to build some frames, put the frames down, and then put the frames in an upgraded state, and I don't want to leave frames laying around. So I'm going to end it right here, and we'll pick up the next episode right from this point, and I'll show you some stuff about the aloe vera and the cactus and the other items out there that you can see, and we'll take it from there. This is 4N6 Psych. I'm glad you came to my channel. I hope you're enjoying this series. If you like what you're seeing, please hit the like button. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and do that. And leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. And give me suggestions. If you have tips for other players that are starting out, great. Leave those too. Fantastic. Thanks for joining, and talk to you later. Bye.